Ever think about how much power that little notary seal actually has? You know, we sign on the dotted line all the time, but it's that stamp and signature that really make it official, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, today we're diving into a Supreme Court case from the Philippines that'll make you think twice next time you see one.
Oh, this is a good one.
Ladrera versus Osorio.
Yeah.
This case really shows what can go wrong when a notary public, and in this case, a lawyer doesn't follow the rules.
Yeah, it really highlights how important those rules are and how much can unravel when they're not followed.
So to set the stage a little bit, Librada Ladrera is filing a complaint against attorney Ramiro Osorio.
Right.
And she's accusing him of some pretty serious violations,
Mm-hmm.
like notarizing documents without the actual people even being there.
Yeah, that's a big one.
I mean, how does that even happen?
Well, Ladrera claims that Osorio notarized documents with both her and her daughter's signatures,
Okay.
even though her daughter was living overseas at the time.
Whoa.
So that's one of the central issues here. How could he have possibly verified their identities if they weren't even there?
Yeah, that's a huge red flag, right? It's not like you can just take someone's word for it, that a signature is legit.
Absolutely not, especially on important legal documents.
Right.
The notary's role is crucial in preventing fraud.
So it sounds like things are not looking good for Mr. Osorio.
Well, he does have a defense.
Okay.
He claims that Ladrera was actually the one who benefited from these documents, that she used them in a separate legal case.
Interesting.
And he also says that he never even gave her the final notarized versions.
Oh, so he's basically saying even if he did something wrong, it didn't really matter.
That's essentially his argument, but of course the Supreme Court had to decide if that held any water.
Right.
They focused on a few key questions.
Okay.
Did Osorio actually violate the rules of notarial practice? Was there enough evidence to support Ladrera's claims? And maybe most importantly, what are the consequences for a notary public who doesn't follow the rules?
Yeah, I'm guessing those rules are there for a reason.
Oh, absolutely. They're not just suggestions. They're there to protect people from fraud and to make sure the whole legal system works the way it should.
So let's talk about those rules specifically.
Yeah, right.
What did Osorio actually do that was so problematic?
Well, the Supreme Court found that he violated one of the most basic principles of being a notary.
Okay.
He notarized documents without the parties being present.
So personal appearance is key.
Yeah, it's like rule number one.
I mean, that seems pretty obvious though, right? Like, that rule exists so someone can't just forge a signature or pretend to be someone they're not.
Exactly. It's all about verifying identity.
Right.
The notary is there to make absolutely sure that the person signing the document is who they say they are, and that they're signing it willingly and knowingly.
So not only did he allegedly notarize documents without everyone there, he also didn't properly check their IDs.
That's right. That's another fundamental rule. You need what's called competent evidence of identity, like a driver's license or a passport, to prove who you are. Think about it. If anyone could just walk in and sign any document, the whole system would fall apart.
Yeah, it's all about trust, right?
Exactly, and accountability.
So we've got potentially missing people, questionable identities. What else did the Supreme Court focus on in this case?
Well, this is where it gets kind of interesting.
Okay.
It gets into some of the finer points of legal terminology, and it shows how careless Osorio was being. The Supreme Court found that he messed up some really basic terminology.
Oh, really? Like what?
He used a jurat when he should have used an acknowledgement.
I'm not a lawyer, so
Right.
Can you break that down for me?
Sure, a jurat is used when someone is swearing under oath that the information in a document is true.
Okay.
So think of it like testimony in court.
Okay.
An acknowledgement, on the other hand, is typically used for things like deeds and contracts.
Got it.
It just means the person signing is confirming their identity and stating that they're signing willingly.
So he basically used the wrong form.
Yeah, you could say that.
Is that a big deal?
It can be. In this case, it shows a lack of attention to detail and a misunderstanding of some pretty basic legal concepts. And to make matters worse, the Supreme Court also found that he had errors in his notarial register.
His what?
His notarial register. It's like a logbook where a notary keeps records of all the documents they've notarized.
Oh, okay. So not only did he break some major rules, but his record keeping was sloppy too.
Pretty much, and that's why accurate record keeping is so important for notaries.
Right.
It provides a clear history of all their notarial acts, which can be really important in legal disputes.
It sounds like this guy really messed up.
Yeah, he did.
So what was the final verdict?
Guilty on multiple counts.
What happened to him?
Well, the court didn't let him off easy.
I imagine not.
They revoked his notary commission, so he can't act as a notary public anymore.
Okay.
And they suspended him from practicing law for a period of time.
Whoa.
And they issued a very stern warning.
Wow, that's a pretty serious consequence.
They wanted to send a message.
Yeah, that this kind of negligence wouldn't be tolerated.
Exactly. This wasn't just about one lawyer's mistakes.
Right.
This was about upholding the integrity of the whole legal profession and maintaining public trust in notaries.
So what's the takeaway here for our listeners? What can we learn from all of this?
I think it's a good reminder that even something as routine as getting a document notarized can have some serious legal implications.
Yeah.
We need to be aware of the rules and the importance of accuracy and diligence.
And that even lawyers are held accountable under the law.
Absolutely no one is above the rules when it comes to notarial practice.
It's amazing how this one case can really open up a window into such an important part of our legal system.
It is.
I think a lot of us take these signatures and seals for granted,
Yeah.
but they really are the foundation of so much
Sure.
of trust and accountability.
And that's why cases like this are so important.
Right.
They expose the potential pitfalls and remind us to stay informed and vigilant.
I know I'll definitely be paying more attention next time I'm signing something important.
Good, and you should.
Yeah.
It's not something to just take lightly.
You know, what's really striking to me is that he wasn't just found guilty of, messing up paperwork.
Yeah.
He was basically undermining the entire system of trust that notaries are supposed to uphold.
That's a great way to put it. Notaries public are guardians of authenticity and reliability in our legal system.
Yeah.
Their actions have real-world consequences.
It's almost like they're gatekeepers.
Exactly. Making sure everything is legitimate and above board.
Mm-hmm.
They play a crucial role
Yeah.
in preventing fraud and making sure agreements are legally binding.
Wow. I think I'm going to be thinking about this every time I see that notary seal from now on.
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah,
It's a reminder to stay informed and aware of our rights and responsibilities.
Yeah, it really does make you think, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Oh, absolutely.
Being informed and taking those extra steps can really save you a lot of trouble in the long run, especially when it comes to legal stuff.
Definitely a little knowledge and awareness can go a long way.
So listener, next time you're about to sign something important, remember, Osorio and everything we talked about today.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just blindly sign on that dotted line. Take a minute to understand what you're actually signing. Ask questions if something's not clear and make sure the notary is doing things by the book.
It's good advice, and if you're ever unsure about anything, don't hesitate to get some legal advice.
Right.
It's always better to be safe than sorry.
Well, I think that's about all the time we have for today.
Yeah.
We've really gone deep into the world of notaries public.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more interesting than people might think.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot more to it than meets the eye.
So if you found this case as fascinating as we did, be sure to subscribe and tell your friends about it.
Yeah, spread the word.
Who knew notary law could be so captivating?
Right. It's full of surprises.
Until next time, stay curious and stay informed.
And watch out for that notary seal.